Dude, what the hell? Really? Every time I try and start off a video, someone always calls. Sup gamers, welcome back to more Pokemon Crystal. I'm Silver Orpheus. Last time we explored around the Johto region. Using our new HMs, we explored around the Dark Cave a little bit, and we went in the Union Cave and captured our new team member, which I went on ahead and gave a nickname to. Yeah, finally found somebody who did. And you wouldn't believe who it was, but yours truly. Anyway, I decided to nickname Lapras Plussy after, you know, our little ally from Super Mario 3D World. Because, you know, there's one thing that those two share. They carry the protagonist on their backs and they surf along the water. That's pretty much what they do. So, welcome to the team. It would have been better if Lapras was, well, shiny, but oh well. Now, before we actually carry on, there's actually something I've been meaning to go over for a long time now, but I never got around to it. There were 3 particular Pokemon that we missed out for when it came down to Pokemon bios, and I think it's about time we knock those out now, because I keep forgetting them, and I only just now realize when I'm going through editing. So, let's go ahead and start us off with Butterfree. Going forward, this Pokemon is probably not the best. If you're looking for an attacker with Psychic type attacks, Butterfree from when it's, well, obtained for the first time is your only option. However, by the point we're at now, you have options like Abra, Drowsy, Natu now even, that just outclass Butterfree in terms of Psychic type attacking of prowess. So it's not really the best when it comes to that anymore. If you're playing Heart Gold, Soul Silver, it's still one of the better users of Sleep Powder because of its ability Compound Eyes, making Sleep Powder near 100% accurate. So, yeah, it's starting to overstay its welcome by this point, but you might find some use out of it still. And a Pokemon that is not going to be showing some use at all is Beedrill. I'm not joking when I say that Quillfish outclasses this Pokemon. The only thing Beedrill really has going for it at the moment is its exclusive access to the move Twin Needle, which in the past was mainly used as a counter for Psychic-type Pokemon, except Beedrill's part Poison, so it's probably just going to go in and outgun it. The worst part about Beedrill is that its attack stat is outclassed by pretty much every single Poison type that we have encountered up to this point. That's not even a joke. I think even Ariados outclasses this Pokemon. In fact, Ariados does outclass this Pokemon because it even outclasses its Bug Flying type counterpart, which is something that Beedrill doesn't even have going for it. Oh well. Maybe in some other later generation, Beedrill might be great and might see some brief success, but until then, this is what we got. And finally, the latest Pokemon to reach the I'm going to forget this Pokemon list is Pidgeotto. Alright, Pidgeotto. Where do I begin with you? I mean... oh, man. Alright, so Pidgeotto. More or less anything I said about Pidgey still applies here. It's mostly a mixed attacker paired with, well, special defensive capabilities. It's normal flying type, so it's a bit generic. So, best thing I can really say about Pidgeotto is that it's a better Pidgey. And if you obtained Pidgey, you should definitely have a Pidgeotto by this point. So, I don't really see the appeal to this one. I also don't even have much to say about Pidgeotto either. It's a generic, normal flying type Pokemon. Anyway, with those 3 out of the way, I think it's about time for us to, well, move on. Now, I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently. Now, going forward, the game offers us a split pathway. Most people will usually take the west side. However, because I plan on being different, and different is usually a better way to go when it comes to content, let's exit to the east, shall we? Route 42, and you can definitely tell that we are probably not supposed to be here, but what the hell ever. Ultra Ball. First one in the entire game. And in here, we have Mount Mortar. Waterfall cave inside. So, a little thing about Mount Mortar is that in here, we have new exclusive Pokemon. Also, if you're familiar with Gold and Silver, you might be seeing a bit of a, well, difference already. In Vanilla Gold and Silver, I had to go and look this up myself because I had no idea about this prior to recording. This is, and if you were playing Vanilla Gold and Silver, and I think Heart Gold and Soul Silver as well, you need Flash to actually explore this area. In Crystal, everything's already lit up for you, so you don't really need to worry about that. So, really all we gotta do is get a Repel up, and we can go ahead and explore around. Mount Mortar is home to quite a bit of some new Pokemon here. And in addition, there's also new Pokemon found in this cave. But I kid you not, we literally already came across them. Yeah, I ain't joking about that. Really, the most we're really, well, finding here are, well, trainers. So I guess we can go ahead and go over some of the Route 42 encounters, because, well, there are new encounters in that area. Whoa, Nidoking! Alright. Hello there, buddy. Well, starting us off for Route 42 encounters, we have Fearow, the hard physical attacker, normal flying bird. Really, anything I kind of said about Pidgeotto earlier this video kind of screams what I'm about to say to Fearow. It's generic, and in this generation in particular, it's probably going to be coming out short just because it, well, lacks the moves to actually do anything. The best that Fearow really has going for it in this generation is that it learns Steel Wing. And it's pretty fast. But that's really about it. Anyway, CO2 is trying to learn Sludge. I'm gonna go ahead and teach it that over Smog. And you're probably gonna bring out a Nidoqueen, yeah. Anyway, next up on our list, we have Arbok. At the levels this thing is caught at, it will just about have learned. It will have just learned Bite. Since it's the only obtained in Crystal this early, this is actually not good. Coming up shortly is a TM that will make Arbok less useless, so there's that. But it's really outclassed by most of the other poison types. And generally what I mean by that is that it's outclassed by, well, it's a physical attacking poison type. That's really about it. It's got crap defenses. It's not even that good at speed either. It's just more attack oriented than anything else. Okay, so with Plussy and CO2 getting their level ups, I guess we can go ahead and switch Bastet into the lead. Anyway, next up we have Mankey. Mankey is exclusive to Gold and Heart Gold versions. This thing is a fast physical sweeper. It's easily one of the fastest fighting types in the game, if not the absolute fastest. Mankey will outspeed pretty much anything. Similar to Machop, Mankey learns mostly normal and fighting type attacks. Except unlike Machop, again, this thing is fast. Like, really fast. It's gonna be outspeeding most things in the game fast. However, its TM coverage is utter garbage, because Mankey is a physical attacker in a generation that learns mostly special moves. So, that ain't great. And Flaffy is also exclusive to Gold, however, it is also only exclusive to Silver, so if you're playing Crystal, you are losing out on this one. Flaffy is a better version of Mareep that you could find earlier. It's a tanky electric type Pokemon, so you're definitely going to get something a little bit more unique out of this Pokemon. So, but it's not anything that you like Jolteon or Pichu is going to be, that's mostly fast, speed-oriented, and is generally good at, well, getting one-shots. Well, Flaffy and Ampharos are both good at getting one-shots, but it's not nearly as good when it doesn't have any speed on it. But if you're playing Gold and Silver, those are more or less your only easy options. And only found 5% of the time in Crystal, and in Mount Mortar, it can be found everywhere at 1%. Marill. Believe it or not, you wouldn't expect it from a Pokemon like Marill, but it's actually really close to evolving. Like, one level. And the moves it learns aren't bad either. It already has access to Rollout. It learns Bubble Beam soon if you're gonna hold out on evolving it. However, what's the point of having Bubble Beam when we already have access to Surf? So, not really worth it. Ultimately, the biggest shortcomings that Marill has are its poor stats, even in its fully evolved state. And the big issue that, probably the biggest issue that Marill runs into is that it doesn't have access to its ability Huge Power until Gen 4, I think. If it's not Gen 4, it's Gen 5. There will definitely be a message popping up on screen if I am incorrect about that being Gen 4. Otherwise, if you don't have access to the Huge Power ability, Marill and its evolution of Azumarill is not going to hold you for very long. And finally, only in Heart Gold, Soul Silver can I really recommend Seaking. The evolved version of Goldeen is here, and ooh boy. In Gold and Silver, it only learns special moves, which it doesn't use very well. However, it's a physical attacking force. And it's a water type. So, like Goldeen, it's very confused, as you would no doubt expect from a, well, evolved Pokemon. It's generally going to be a more powerful version of what it evolved from. Ugh. Yeah. And that's pretty much it with Mount Mortar and even Route 42. I mean, heck, we're already on the other side of the cave. And yeah, that's more or less it. That's all we can do with Mount Mortar, and we've already, well, crossed the sea. We have Fisher Tully with a Quillfish, so you're actually a trainer of interest. We have Bestet in the lead, but I don't think you're gonna be... Ooh, right, I forget you have Shadow Ball. That's actually really useful. Unfortunately, I don't think this is gonna be a... Ooh, this is bad. You know what? I think we'll have Bestet tank it out, and then we'll go for Shadow Ball. Alright, you have Harden. Nothing. That did actually nothing. What the heck? Fan, you're up. I know we're relying on hard physical attacking when this thing just went for a Harden. But hopefully this thing can't use any, well, physical... Wait, no, that's actually bad because Donphan has terrible special defense. Mud Slap. Yeah, you're weak to it. Critical. Alright, that's good for us, Bestet. Got some experience from that. And that's it for you, good sir. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Fisher Tully, you are a good trainer to get a phone number with. Because, if I'm not mistaken, Fisher Tully will give you a Water Stone. So that's really useful to have. And we have another trainer right here. Here's my secret place. Get lost, you outsider. Wow, how rude of you. Anyway, we have Pokemaniac Shane with his Nidorina. Well, more things for Fan to destroy. I can just say that with confidence. You're not part ground type yet because you haven't evolved into the Nidoking or Nidoqueen. My bad. And that's lovely. 2 damage. And bye-bye. So yeah, Mount Mortar and Route 42, these routes are actually pretty short, but at the same time, we kind of went over, well, both of these areas in one go. In addition, if you're looking for a wild Machop that you wanted to catch legitimately and you you're not quite fond of getting it from the trade with the trade experience, because traded Pokemon will gain experience faster. Mount Mortar is also the first place where you can catch Machop legitimately in the wild. So, yeah. Of course, it's a bit late for Machop if you wanted to use it against Whitney, because you can't get into this area unless you have the plane badge, because you can't get past Sudowoodo. If you don't, jeez, that is the second Mud Slap crit that we've hit. Are you kidding me? Why does this keep happening? And why is it always Fan? Alright, let's see it. Need to know. $24. That's not as bad. I swear that happens a lot in Gen 2. And you're probably a hiker. But I'm gonna go ahead and take a wild shot in the dark. You're a hiker. Yep. Benjamin has a Diglett. Alright. Bastet, you have one job. You have, like, no defenses at all. Yep, there we go. Alright, Bastet takes her first battle. And next is a Geodude. So you're gonna have a ton of defenses. So the reason why I'm pretty much going down this route instead of going down the other one is that I want CO2, Bastet, and Plessy to gain experience and just get caught up with both Realm and Fan Lenorn. Because those two are absurdly high level just because of how long we've had them. And with these three being new, it's... I feel bad throwing them against the higher level Pokemon just yet, so I kind of want to have something to train them out against. And, oh, you have a Dugtrio. Level 16, alright. Plessy is going to be good at this job. Now, Plessy actually has kind of an advantage here because she already has an attacking move in the form of Surf. It's already going to be doing tons of freaking damage to these Pokemon. Especially these part ground types like Dugtrio here. And this is more or less the end for Dugtrio. One Surf just spells the end, and you have no defenses. Bye! And that's it for Hiker Benjamin. What do we got next? It's either you or we're going to the next area. Cool. Now then, welcome to Mahogany Town. And, yeah, this place is certainly interesting. Repulse effect wore off. And, one thing about I want to see if there's a town sign. Yep. Mahogany Town. Welcome to the home of the ninja. Ninjas in a Pokemon game. You would never hear about that. But anyway, this is pretty much where we're going to end things off today. Next time on Pokemon Crystal, we're going to be exploring around Mahogany Town, and maybe traveling north. See you guys then.